You've seen these sleek, Apple-style animations all over social media, the kind that feel premium, cinematic and effortless. In this video, I'll show you how to create that exact look inside After Effects. This lesson is actually from my full Skillshare class on premium viral motion graphics, where I teach editors and creators how to design these high-end, 3D-inspired animations from scratch. Even if you just watch this clip, you'll learn the step-by-step process for building polished, scroll-stopping motion that looks like something Apple would post. First thing, I'm going to create new project. I'm going to create a new composition that's going to be, let's say, how long was the video? Let's see. The video is like 9 seconds. Okay, so let's make the composition the length like 10 seconds, which is going to be, this video is square, but we are going to make it width 1080 and the height 1920. So this is going to be the ratio for social media. Now, an important thing is about the frame rate. Some people struggle with frame rates. Honestly, don't worry about it too much, just set it to 30. Long story short about the frame rates, 30 is the best one in my opinion, because first of all, 60 is a bit too smooth sometimes, and social media will just eat the quality of that. It will lower the frame rates eventually. 24 is a bit too unsmooth, so I do recommend setting to 30. In terms of the resolution, if your computer is slower, I do recommend putting it to as low as possible, so maybe for you it would be 1080 by 720. Now, important thing about, if you have like a very powerful computer, you want the best quality, you might think, oh yeah, I want 4K. Well, yeah, you can definitely set 4K, but once again, social media is going to just eat the quality of that. If you think about this, there are like millions and millions of videos are uploaded every single day on social media, and it's just a bit too hard for social media to keep the same quality, because these files are going to take some space and they don't want it to take so much space. And if we take a look at the video that we've downloaded, like the video at 9 seconds, that's 348 kilobytes. That's less than a megabyte. Like that's very slow, because social media, you know, works on the video to make it even smaller, so it cuts the quality. I'm pretty sure the quality was a lot better when this creator did it. So 1080, 1920, 30 frames a second, and press OK. Let's go into the vertical workspace. If you don't have a vertical workspace, go into the default workspace, drag this thing to the right, drag it like this, hold it and drag it to the right, then rearrange some of the other stuff, just drop it like this, like so, and like so. We don't necessarily need the audio, so we can close it. Align panel is good, effects is good, properties is good. So actually we don't need the preview, so we can keep it like this. I mean, if you want, you can put the effects like to the right a little bit, like so. Okay, and then just go ahead, right click, save as new workspace, and it's going to be your new workspace. Just give it a name. In my case, it's vertical, and you can see the layout that I have here is the best for vertical videos. Let's call this the main comp. I'm going to rename it once again by just pressing on enter, or you can right click and press on rename, or you can see the shortcut is enter. Let's create a folder first. I'm going to create a new folder and we'll call it AE airplane video, and I'm going to create another folder called AE. We'll put the video assets here as well, and now I'm going to come to After Effects, press on Command S to save the video file. I'm going to go into AE and we're going to save it here, and let's call it AE airplane video. Press and save. So now our file is going to be saved. It's going to be saved automatically every couple of seconds. If you don't have that set up, then go into After Effects, settings, autosave, save every 5 minutes. Number of projects doesn't matter, but make sure to put it like in hundreds. Press OK, and now it will save your project all the time. And if After Effects lags and the project just dies, you'll be able to revive it. It's only not going to save the last 5 minutes. Now that we have things prepared, let's jump in. Let's select our video assets and drop them here. By having them all selected, actually it did not import the plane, but it's okay. We are going to create new folder, and okay, let's select all of these, drag it into the folder, rename the folder called video assets to make sure things are organized. So now if I open the folder, you can see that we have our assets. So let's open the main composition and let's see what we have. We have a white screen at the very beginning, and then we have the text appear. I'm going to press over here, I'm going to press on Command Y to create a solid, and it's going to be a white solid. I'm going to press on OK, and it basically creates like a background. It's going to be the size of the composition. If I select it, let's search for it, solid settings. This is the shortcut. You can go into the settings, you can see it's 1080 by 1920, the same size as our composition. Let's search for an effect. We are going to search for change to color, and you will see that the background changes. It changes here, but here we have a cut of the background colors, but then here we have like a change. So we are going to have our background change colors. This is the way we can do this, because we can keyframe the change of the colors. We'll have our text appear like so. This is done with a script called text evo script. It's this one. You can easily animate text with the script, and I actually really recommend it. It does cost a little bit of money. It's like $30 to get it. I really recommend it because it saves you a ton of time. We can do it by hand, which is going to take us a bit more time, but let's do it by hand. And I'm actually just going to copy this text instead of writing it. So I'm going to either click here, or I can press on T, which is going to be a shortcut. Sorry, Command T, and you can see it selected. And I'm just going to paste our text and make it black for now. I'm also going to keep this font because this is the font that I like the most. It's called Tusker, and you're free to use this font. It's one of my favorite fonts ever. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to put the paragraph in the center, and I'm going to center it. So now if I type anything extra, it's going to keep things in the middle at all times. I'm actually going to ask ChatGPT on how to animate the text, because I don't always remember how to animate every single thing. Oftentimes I just come to ChatGPT and ask it, and it saves me a lot of time. Animate, position. So this is going to be our final keyframe, and we are going to change the beginning keyframe. Let's come to ChatGPT again. Then we have the blur, we have the opacity, and we need to animate the range selector. Under animator, open range selector. Okay, here we have the range selector. Great. Keyframe the start property from 1 to 100. Okay. Here's where we are at right now. Basically, you can just go ahead and copy these settings. So first of all, we have the start at 0, end at 100, offset is animated from -100 to 100, as you can see. Then we have the mode add based on words, units, percentage. Ramp up is super important, and you can see we have our animation completed. Now you will also see that this animation is a little bit smoother, and it's a lot easier. I mean, we can definitely play around with this even further to make it even smoother, but it's also important to know that it's so much easier to do it with text evo, because literally it takes like seconds. So I'm gonna give that to you as an example, because you can just go ahead and replicate it here. But for example, let's do it with text evo. Let's put this one in the middle. Let's do it exactly the same. Now I'm going to run a script. So this is the script, and I'm going to open presets that I've already created for myself. Then let's do up, opacity. Yes, for example, this one. We can still customize it a little bit. So I'm going to press on U to open the animations. Let's do transform, and I'm just going to change the initial position, and we can also increase or decrease the decay to like this, and increase the animation length. Yeah. So you can see this is exactly the kind of animations that they have. So very similar, right? Maybe still like a little bit different, but like not significantly. Now I'm going to press on P and I'm going to lower it down. So you can just continue with the previous animation if you don't have the text evo. If you do have it, then you can just go ahead and get it. Text evo script. So this is the one. You can go to AE scripts, get it, $29. Really saves you a lot of time. You just saw it. Like I spent about like half an hour going back and forth with ChatGPT just in the very beginning. Let's see what we have next. So we're going to think about these effects a little bit later. For example, like the Gaussian blur, and they also have, if you pay close attention, they have like a light sweep. This is something that's super easy to do, but we can do this a little bit later. Let's just focus on the animation first. Okay, so then we'll have every single word just kind of go in different directions. In order to do this, we'll have to separate every single word. So let's see exactly where this happens. Like at what frame are we going to have it? Roughly at around like 1.5 seconds. So let's call it like let's call it 1:15. The way I'm able to jump between different frames exactly is by pressing Command and arrow keys. If I press Command Shift arrow keys, I'll be able to jump by 10 frames. Okay, so here we will have our plane crash into our text. So I'm going to split our text by pressing Shift Command D. By the way, if you're on Windows, instead of Command, you just have to press Control. So it's going to be Shift Control D, Shift Command D, Shift Control D, and we are going to cut it. So this is where the plane is going to hit our text, and we need to break down our text. And I'm going to duplicate by pressing Command D, or once again Control D. I'm going to remove text evo from here and from here, so that text evo just doesn't influence anything. And I'm going to select the top layer, the top text layer, and I'm going to delete everything that's to the right of the first word. Basically, we just need the first word. Then I'm going to press P, and I'm going to put it in exactly the same location where it was. Duplicate this one again, and I'm going to do the same but with the second word. And I know it might be not very convenient, but this is just what we have to do to exactly do it like this. Duplicate again, like so. Now we can delete this one at the bottom, the text that was used just to align the text. So now we have all of our words, and now we can animate every single word. When we see this animation happening, when every single word is flying around, well, this is also done with null objects, and I'm going to show you how to do this. We are going to put a keyframe for every single text layer. We're going to come a little bit to the front. Now we can just press on V and, for example, select this one and move it a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's also select all of these and press Shift R so that we open the rotation and create a keyframe for rotation as well. Now I'm going to just, for example, like click on Don't, drag it here, something like this, and we just need to change the rotation slightly. So this is what we have. Boom. Great. I'm going to select all the keyframes, press Fn, F9, and I'm going to open the graph editor, select all the keyframes, zoom in by pressing Option or Alt on PC, and let's just do it something like this. Actually, in the very beginning it has to move fast, right? Yes. So instead of it's being smooth in the beginning, we can do it like this. Great. We kind of have like sort of like an explosion in a way. But let's see from the beginning. Great. Also, an important moment is that when we have all the animations like put together, because there's going to be like so much, even if we have like little imperfections, it's not a problem at all. So for example, we can see that we have a pretty big jump here in the very beginning, but like nobody's going to notice that because we'll have just so much stuff happening. I can guarantee nobody noticed that the word miss moved in the very beginning. Now we need to put our plane in. So let's see if this is going to work. We'll go to our video assets. This is our plane. Let's try to import it. Interesting, the FBX doesn't work for us. I love ChatGPT, sometimes it just gives a bit of a headache. So turns out we're not able to use FBX because we're only able to use FBX if we use the different renderer. If we use the, let's do something 3D. if we go to Cinema 4D or Advanced 3D, then I'm pretty sure we will be able to do it. Let's just double check. FBX still doesn't work. Anyway, let's think, what can we do here with this plane? Why not use the plane that we had? Okay, it's going to be slightly different, but it's not a big problem. So I'm just going to drop it in here. This is going to be our plane. Press on R, change the rotation 45 degrees or minus 45 degrees to make it straight. We are going to make it 3D. I'm going to select all the text, press on P to make sure, disable it. So we have 3D. Let's open it like this. And in order to work with 3D, actually, I would prefer to go into horizontal workspace. We are going to set 2 viewers so that we can see what's happening. Let's make all of our text 3D as well, aside from the white solid, because we are going to create a camera later, or not necessarily, but I'm just going to quickly explain you how this works. If we have the white solid in 2D, it's not going to be affected if we had a camera, but everything that's 3D is going to be affected. It works with 3D objects. So for example, if we want to animate 3D objects but want to keep the background the same, then we just don't make the background 3D, we just keep it 2D. And it's not going to be affected in any way by the camera. So I'm going to select our plane. Well, I mean, we'll have to play around a little bit with it. Let's make it just a bit smaller, like so. Let's change its position so that it hit. Actually, maybe we need to make it even yes, we need to make it even smaller. So let's put it to like 50, maybe even 45, even smaller, 35. Yes, 35 seems more like it. I'm just trying to see if it's kind of the right size. Around here is going to be the final position. So let's put the position, scale, and which one of the rotation do we need? We need this one for the rotation. Okay, so we'll put the keyframes in, and now I'm just going to go back in time, move it a little bit down, make it a little bit bigger, and change the rotation, like so. Great. Now we just need to move it even lower, so that we don't see it in the frame. Great, and now we need to press Fn, F9, go to graph editor, make it super smooth. Once again, we need to make it super smooth in the very end, not in the very beginning, because it can fly out fast. Let's see how it flies. Let's see if we have something similar. This is where, in order to make it super smooth, buttery smooth, we will have to use a bit of nulls. So we are not going to make it smooth here. We are going to press on command. We're going to select everything, press on command in order to make it linear. Because when we press Fn, F9, it becomes Bezier paths, which is a lot smoother. But if I press on command, it becomes linear again, so it's not smooth at all, as you can see. And it's important for us to find a point where we have the text start moving, and at that point we need to move it like this. And now here in the very end, we are going to create a null object by pressing Shift Option Command Y or Shift Control Alt Y on PC, and we're going to connect our plane, parent our plane, to the null. And using our null, we are going to press on P. You can see we can change our object now. I'm just going to cut it here and delete. Once again, Shift Command D to make a cut, and I'm going to press P to set the position, and now I'm going to move it a little bit further. Okay, why was it unlinked? Not sure, but let's link it again. Position, and change the position of our plane. Okay, it's going to let's see where these keyframes stop, like here. Going to now smooth this one, Fn, F9, come here, select, make it super smooth. So it's not smooth in the very beginning, but then becomes smooth. And when we add motion blur, which is something we can do right away, but it's going to take a bit more power of our computer, you'll see that the plane looks a lot better. and all the stuff with text looks a lot better as well, but we're not going to do it right now because it's going to take extra power for our computer. Great, so let's select everything by pressing Command A, and then I'm just going to press A until everything disappears. Next we have the plane move with the text. There's definitely like a number of ways that we can do this. For example, I'm thinking about like pre-composing this. What pre-composing does is it collects all the layers that you have in another composition, and then you influence the whole composition instead of every single layer. Let's give it a try and then we'll just figure it out in the process. So I'm just going to cut this one, the white solid. I'm going to go into layer, solid settings, and let's make this one, let's make it black. So this one is white, this one is going to be black. We are going to make all of our text white by selecting it and making it white. Press on R for rotation. So we are going to put a keyframe for our rotation, move a little bit to the front and move it a little bit to the left too. Let's say -70, just to make things easy. And we're going to start the movement around here. Press Shift and this line. By doing this way, I'm able to do the same as fit the screen. Basically, this is the shortcut to fit the screen. And if you're looking to learn shortcuts, you can search for keyboard shortcuts, which is this one. You can see the shortcut is, for me, Option Command and then this comma at the top. So if you click here, you can search for all sorts of shortcuts. This is the way you can learn shortcuts. You just literally search for a specific shortcut when you do a specific task like a number of times, and you'll be able to do it. Okay, so we have our plane turn to the left, and we're going to create another null, and we are going to connect our text to the null. So we are going to select our text and parent it to the null. Press on R, and if we change the rotation, this is what happens. So we're going to press the rotation here and here like so, and then for the plane, when the plane turns right, let's put it to 0 degrees, and we'll put another keyframe here like so, and then we'll have the text disappear. So let's see. Now let's just select the keyframes, press Fn, F9. Let's open the graph editor. Yes. And while it's turning to the right, we'll have this thing appear. For this, we are going to create a shape. So we are going to create a square shape like this. Actually, for now, we can close this viewer. So I'm just going to click on one, and let's go back to vertical so that we can see things a little bit better. And actually, let's open the plane, press on U, and we are going to put our shape layer beneath the plane. Let's put it just in the very middle, and then move it a little bit higher. And I'm also going to press on Command or Control, and I'm going to click here, and this way we are going to center the anchor point of our square. It's really important because we're going to animate our square, and a lot of this stuff, like the fronts and all this stuff, is going to happen with this shape. Parent our shape to the plane. You will see that now, you see what's happening, right? We'll have the background change. Let's come to effects. We'll have it change from black to hue, saturation, and lightness, and we are going to go from black to white. Okay, so let's press U. So we have the keyframe for the black. We'll come here and will become white. So this is the way we can do this. Let's just do Fn, F9 here as well. And at this point, for example here, we can just go ahead and cut the text and delete the text because it's not visible anymore, so we don't even need it. Let's open the shape properties and let's make it round. So we have the rectangle path. Let's make it round, like so. When things are round, it looks a lot more expensive. I've noticed that many times. Actually, shape, we have the stroke color. We're going to set it to none, and actually our shape is going to change colors as well. So we can go ahead and copy the change color and paste it into our shape, press U. Actually, let's press U here as well. Let's see if we can do it like this. But instead of going to white, it's going to become black. So we'll put a keyframe halfway, like this. And then here we are just going to make it black once again. Okay, so this is definitely delayed. Okay, I just copied this keyframe and pasted it here so that it stays gray for a little bit longer. Now we're going to animate our shape layer, and then let's rename it to black square. We are going to make things a little bit cleaner a little bit later. For now, let's just continue animating. Next thing we have is we have the plane move a little bit, and while it's moving a little bit, we have the clocks appear. A couple of things we need to do. First, press on P, R. Let's choose the rotation first, and let's move it a little bit to the right. Actually, this is interesting because we need the plane to be connected to the square. So let's delete the rotation keyframes for our plane. We're going to animate the rotation of this part. First of all, I'm going to unparent it, change the rotation. I'm going to parent the plane to the black square. Okay, so this is the beginning. This is going to be when it goes to the left. Then here, okay, and let's press Fn, F9, and let's double check now. We will be able to animate the movement of the black square, and it jumping a little bit and moving around like it is here, -2, and then here we'll put it to like 1, 0. Let's press Fn, F9 and see what kind of results we have. Now I'm just going to move keyframes a little bit so that it's more natural. I'm going to delete this keyframe that's just kind of stopping it at this point. Let's see what we have. And then we have the clocks appearing. So this one can be cut here. This one can be cut here as well. The plane is not cut yet, and the background, we'll leave it there for now. So let's have our clocks, lots of clocks, appear on the screen. Let's make it smaller by pressing S. You can see we have the same pattern because we have the same amount of space between different clocks. So these were animated in batch. So a batch of 3 clocks, 3 batches of 3 clocks. Instead of animating 9 clocks, we'll just animate 3 clocks and then just duplicate them and then change the rotation. Let's give it a try. So we'll have the position. We can make it even better. We can change the position and we can also change the rotation. So it's going to start here. We're just going to hide it behind the black box a little bit later. At this point, we are going to move this one up like so, to the left, scale. We can hide it by pressing Shift S, and we can change the rotation. So it's going to be like this. I'm going to just duplicate it, press on U, and I'm going to change the final position and rotation of this one. I'm going to put the rotation of this one to 0, then duplicate it, press on U, and then change the position and rotation of this one as well. Select all of these, press F9, graph editor, zoom in, and smooth it out. Okay, we definitely need a bit more space in terms of the keyframes. Let's select all the keyframes, make these start very fast and then move in very slow. Let's animate the opacity first, and then we're going to pre-compose it. Shift T to open the T property, the opacity. Press on opacity, move it a little bit to the right. And now let's select the first one, opacity, then we go a little bit further, decrease the opacity on the first one, and then even further on this one. So let's see what we have. Great, now I'm going to press Shift Command C, and this way we're going to pre-compose it. Let's call it clocks. I'm going to just cut it to around here, and we'll move it below the black square. So let's see what we have. Going to duplicate it, press on P, R, and now we just need to move it. Actually, we can change the rotation of this one a little bit to the left. Once again, duplicate it, R, change the rotation. You can see the anchor point is a little bit lower. What it means is that the top one starts going from here and the bottom ones start going from here as well. I mean, you can see the difference. Basically, the space over here and here is the same. Space between here and here is different. So we do need to change the anchor point. Just move it a little bit closer to the center. And potentially, I think we should go over here and then just change the positions slightly. Press on U, the final positions, because these are a little bit too far. And because we are duplicating the same pre-composed composition, it's affecting all of those. So I don't have to change it every single time. I just changed it once and it's good to go. Then the plane is going to, okay, so we're going to change the shape of our square and it's going to go up and then down. These three, we can select them and cut them because we don't see it at this point anymore. We're going to close everything else. Let's select our shape, open it up, contents, rectangle, rectangle path. Let's click on the size. Let's disable the basically increase in size in proportions. We don't want it to be square. We will change the ratio to be like so. So we'll come from here and we'll need to increase the horizontal size to probably something like this. And we need to change the position of it. Press U, Shift P to add the position property. Let's move it up. We are going to press Fn, F9, move it to the left, select these, move them closer. They are using nulls here as well, and I'll explain you why in a second. It's in order to create the very smooth movement. And now I'm going to create another null, and we are going to place it around here, and we're going to connect our black square to this null. The reason we're doing this is because we have the plane going up with the square, but if we try to kind of change the position of it to make it lower, it's going to be something like that, right? It's not smooth at all. But while this animation is in process and it's going up, we will use the null to make the square with the plane go down, and that way it's going to be very smooth. This is the secret to smooth animations, is using the nulls to just move it like this. So let's give it a try. Let's press on P. We're going to go from here to here, and we're going to select, press F9, click here, smooth it out like so, and let's see what we have. Exactly what we need. Just need to play around with keyframes a little bit. Okay, and in the very end we can just make it kind of bounce a little bit, so we can make it go a little bit up, a little bit down, and then kind of in the middle. So let's see what's happening with keyframes here. Yes, this is what's happening. Fn, F9. If I do F9 here, yeah, kind of went a little bit weird, but okay. So I just selected all of these, made them a little bit smoother, and let's see what we have. I think that's exactly the problem once again, so I'm going to just duplicate this null, and I'm going to connect the null that's controlling the black square to this third null. And while this one is going down to this position, I'm going to change the position and make it go a little bit up. And that's how we're going to make it very smooth. Yes, this is exactly what we're going for. Maybe we need to just move it a little bit, to start a little bit faster, and this one a little bit faster as well. Okay, then the background needs to change to white, or to actually just like something like gray. When it goes up over here, we are going to put a keyframe on the color, and as it starts going down, it's going to become gray, very light gray. Yeah, something like that. Okay, the plane needs to disappear. We can just put it below the nulls. The plane, actually, it goes a little bit up. So the plane doesn't only need to be parented, but it also need to be track matted. Sorry, so we'll select the plane. I'm going to press on Command S to, basically I'm clicking this button, but instead of clicking, I'm pressing Command S to open the track mat, and I'm going to track mat the plane to the square, and I'm going to enable the black square. And now when this one goes up, we'll have the plane continue going up. So we're going to press on P, put the keyframe for the position, and here just have it go up like so. That's exactly what they have, but the plane kind of disappears. I think it's more interesting when it just goes up. It's like jumping from a moving car. You will continue your movement, so that's kind of what's happening here. Now we have the England and France. Okay, so let's have France and UK be dropped. I'm just going to get to the final position, press on P. I'm going to move them both a little bit up, press on S, make them both a little bit smaller, press on P, select one of these, move it to the left, select the other, move it to the right, and we're going to select both, and we're going to track mat it to the black square, like so. And we're also going to parent it to the black square. So we're going to parent it. Now we just need to animate this kind of bounce. Select these, press on P, put keyframes, move them a little bit down. Basically we are animating them independently so that they jump in a slightly different motion. So it goes up, then it goes down over here like so, and then we go up again to basically the middle. Now Fn, F9 to make it smoother, and let's see what we have. Okay, the movement here is a bit huge. Let's make it a bit smaller. Maybe here smaller as well. Okay, now we need to animate the text, and we can animate the text and parent the text just to the flags because the flags are already animated. France, put it in the middle. Let's make it black. We'll figure out the font a little bit later. Select France, press on P, move it a little bit up, duplicate it, P. Let's call this UK. Put it in the middle, arrow down. I don't remember if we can use it here. Yeah, we cannot use it with this font at least. So let's just download like arrow down. Let's use something like that. Okay, let's use this one. Drop it in. Drop it in. Move it. S. Make it small. P. Great. And I'm going to search for an effect called color key. And this way, if I select the white stuff, it's just going to get rid of the white stuff. You can customize the color tolerance slightly, depending on the kind of asset that you got from the internet, it's going to be slightly different. Let's connect our text. Actually, let's cut it slightly. Actually, I'm going to select all these and I'm going to parent it to, for example, France. Let's see what we have. Now I'm just going to track mat all of this to the black square as well, like so. And let's animate France or UK. Select UK, select the arrow, press on P. This is going to be the final keyframe, and we'll do this one from here. And we're going to Fn, F9 it as well. Okay, we have another plane coming in from the top. Let's find our plane. It was here. We're going to duplicate it, put it on top. We're not going to link it to anything. We're not going to parent or track mat it to anything. It's going to be independent. Okay, so I'm going to just delete everything. Let's have it look down, move it a little bit up, and then we're going to animate it going down. This is just one of the lessons from my full Skillshare class on premium viral motion graphics in After Effects, where we go much deeper, step by step, and create complete real-world projects together. If you found this helpful and want to keep learning with me, you can get a 30-day free trial to Skillshare using the link in the description. No prepayment, totally free access. Click the link, start learning, and I'll see you inside the full class.